Dog gives birth, vets notice their cow pups. They had been rescuing dogs for years now, and yet they have never seen anything like it ever before. When they welcomed Rosie into their home, she was heavily pregnant, but nothing could have prepared them for this. As the litter began to appear, the couple looked confused. They had so many questions that needed answers, but they were sure of one thing: Rosie needed help, urgently. Rosie had been abandoned by her former owners in 2017. She was a beautiful golden retriever mix that was heavily pregnant. The workers at the shelter felt anxious for Rosie and her pups. Resources at the shelter were scarce enough as is, and they were unable to provide for them. The shelter was also so overcrowded that they did not want to subject Rosie to birthing her pups in a place like that. She needed help, and she needed it fast. The manager understood that Rosie needed special care and felt that the Neuse River Golden Retriever Rescue would be perfect for the job. The North Carolina-based organization aims at taking care of golden retrievers and placing them in foster homes until they get adopted. Thankfully, the organization was able to help, and they had the perfect family in mind for Rosie. A kind volunteer from Neuse River Golden Retriever Rescue came to collect Rosie the following morning. During the volunteer's assessment of Rosie, she discovered that there was a huge risk involved with transporting her as she might give birth before they reach a vet. However, Rosie needed help immediately, so they took the risk. Rosie made it safely to the Raleigh vet clinic and the vet examined her. The vet stated that Rosie was in good health and they could proceed with the next step to find Rosie an appropriate foster family to aid her in labor. Katie and John Black love dogs, and they love taking care of them. To put their passions into good use, they decided to start fostering dogs in 2009. They have fostered more than 20 dogs and thus, they were experienced enough to help Rosie with her birth. Rosie joined the Black family 5 days after being abandoned at the shelter. However, no one could have predicted how things would turn out. "This is our new foster, Rosie," the Blacks wrote on Instagram, who is very preggers and close to delivering her puppies. The post received a lot of love, and everyone online was excited to meet Rosie's puppies. Rosie was cautious and apprehensive at first, and who could blame her? She was in an unfamiliar environment with strangers, set to give birth to puppies. Although, Rosie did warm up to the Blacks' kindness with time. The Blacks, on the other hand, would be treated to a surprise that would capture the entire internet when the big day of Rosie's labor arrived. Rosie was treated like royalty by Kate and John. When she finally went into labor, her comfort was their first priority. Thanks to their experience, the Blacks were able to navigate the difficulties that arose during Rosie's labor. One by one the puppies started to appear. Kate pinched herself to make sure she wasn't dreaming because what she saw blew her mind. The couple did everything in their power to make sure that Rosie was as comfortable as possible, but they could not believe their eyes when they saw her puppies. They couldn't focus on the pup's appearance. Instead, they had to ensure that Rosie maintained her vigor and gave birth to each youngster promptly. The Blacks expected a large litter because Rosie's belly was so big, but they were in for another surprise. The Blacks double-checked that Rosie had delivered all of the puppies in her belly, as they were confused to see she only had 4. Other canines her size typically gave birth to 5 or 6 puppies, but happily, they were all big and healthy. Once Rosie delivered all of her puppies, Kate felt relief wash over her. She then went on social media to provide the update that baffled the internet. "Our foster dog, a golden mix, gave birth yesterday to baby cows," Kate posted with a smile on her face. The pups Rosie had given birth to looked nothing like her. They all had strange black spots covering their body. Seizing the opportunity, the Blacks named the pups Clarabelle, Moo, Betsy, and Daisy. Rosie's cow puppies were a huge hit. It wasn't long before Kate's social media account blew up with messages and jokes about the strange, spotted creatures. "My dad laughed for quite a while at the photos," Kate told the press association. It was clear that the father of the pups wasn't a golden retriever like Rosie. But then, just what was he? There are many dog breeds that have white fur and black spots. And social media users loved the mystery as everyone tried to guess what he was. Some were sure that Rosie had fallen in love with a Dalmatian, others suggested the dad had been an English setter. There was no shortage of theories as everyone got in on the guessing game. So, who was right? Well, there are many breeds with white fur and black spots, one candidate seems more likely than the rest. Only Dalmatians have true spots. Dogs with other markings have what is known as ticking. Their markings are made up of small isolated areas of tiny dots. Meanwhile, Rosie's family photo was spreading like wildfire. It was Kate's dad who suggested that Kate post the photos of the puppies on Reddit. He had a feeling that they would go viral, and he was right. Rosie and her babies blew up the internet. What made the photos even funnier was the fact that Rosie looked just as perplexed by her puppies as everyone else. More than 90,000 users liked the photo, and 1,600 users commented. And when Kate shared the photo on Instagram, the couple's popularity skyrocketed. I believe there's been a mix-up here, one Reddit user wrote. Others commented on Rosie's comical expression, saying that she looked like she was defending her choices. So what, is that really such a big deal? Are you so close-minded, really Karen?